want to support the platform just in case anything like this happens again, you can do it by way of PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and also by the Anchor. And you can also further support the platform by way of going to the Teespring store or the shoe store that is located in the comment section below.
About regulations for a second, because it seems to me that the Republicans are obsessed with this notion of the free market, and they don't like a lot of regulations.
Because it means profit. When you deregulate, you get profit.
But I know.
Part of deregulation,
for example, there were very few plane crashes, thank God. And that's because the industry is highly regulated. We have to pay for regulations and safety standards. Otherwise, where are we? We're all going to go up in flames.
Norfolk Southern gives as much to Democrats as Republicans. It's a very powerful lobby that is trying to block regulation. And this train, to Sarah's point, 2 miles long with 2 full-time employees and a trainee on it.
And they didn't even need to, because the last administration rolled it down to only one worker. They happened to have 2.
One thing I just want to say is I do think this was an unforced error by President Biden. It was 20 days before we had Secretary Buttigieg go down, 10 days before he put out a statement acknowledging it. This is Trump country. He won by 40 points. He is a president for all Americans. I believe that, but he needs to show that he is. It was time for him to be.
I don't know why they would ever vote for him, for somebody who, by the way, he placed someone with deep ties to the chemical industry in charge of the EPA's Chemical Safety Office. That's who you voted for in that district. Donald Trump, who reduces all safety. He did in those days.
Showed up at McDonald's and those voters saw something on the ground that probably resonates in a way that they need.
But they need to look past the photo ops, these people, and say, who's doing the job here? Forget about the photo op.
Showing up is a big thing.
Showing up, I think
this is Donald Trump's fault.
So let me just make a slight correction from the image that you are able to see of Joy. Joy didn't actually state. She stated a lot of the facts that took place with it and also her feelings as well. It was actually Sunny, who is a lawyer. She's normally vocal on there, that stated that she thinks and or feels that this is Trump's fault for the reason that this happened in East Palestine. And this is the thing that I want to just point out to a lot of people. I can agree with a lot of things. Now, this is something I mentioned in another video dealing with Trump getting the votes and handing out water, or videos of him basically giving water when he made his trip directly to East Palestine. This title says, Donald Trump, who rolled back railroad safety regulations and slashed environmental protections, donates Trump-branded water to East Palestine residents. So Sonny is right. Sonny is correct. During the time that he was in office, he had people, specific people, put directly in place. Because remember, Trump is a businessman and the United States of America is a corporation. So in a sense, they had the right person directly there in office to run a business, a corporation, right? In a sense, if you want to look at the deficit, you know, the United States has been bankrupt for quite some years and running on bankruptcy and not being able to, you know, I guess you could say pay their bills or pay the money that is in a sense owed. They just keep, you know, borrowing and adding directly to the deficit, making higher and greater, delaying, you know, what it is that they're supposed to be doing. So again, Sonny is correct in what it is that she stated at the very end of that video, where she stated that she feels like it is his fault because during the time of his administration, he allowed this to take place. And you can pretty much see the fallout literally of what takes place when you have things happen, you know, some ways ahead of time. You can see the fallout now. And again, I'm going to also list the information that I had in a video before talking about the train derailments. They said that they roughly have about anywhere from I want to say 1,000 to 1,200 train derailments that happen at a point in time in a year. But from those stats that they had listed, they're not telling you how many of those have any type of hazardous waste chemical, how those will affect communities, if it's happened in communities, near communities, around communities, if it's taking place, in you know areas dealing with the forest and nature and different things that stuff, or if it's falling down into aquifers, right, affected the water. How bad were these derailments? How bad were these spills? Or all of these things. Like I said, there's a lot of things that never get talked about, and they don't get talked about for a very specific reason. Very specific reason. People have to remember that a lot of those who are in office, um, they have lobbyists and other interest groups who make sure to keep things hush hush, to make it seem like everything is everything. You have people putting money in literal, congressmen, senate, government, people's pockets daily, so that they can pass the regulations or the laws that they need in order to keep their program going, no matter what the cost comes to the American people, even if it comes to their life or their health. Like I said, I've been doing these videos for, you know, a little bit of time now. And it's like, as soon as I want to leave, and, you know, I I just want to let the whole thing rest, it seems like I just have to keep coming back and, doing more videos, when it deals with these spills, East Palestine, and, and all of these other things. I got more than likely several more videos down the pipeline that I'm going to have to more than likely do in order to showcase a lot of, the messed up things that are taking place. But, it is what it is. I just hope that people are paying attention.